Don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our 2 newly released books, Football: A Love Story and What Did Football Teach Me? These books feature over 100 stories from current and former coaches, players, executives, and entertainers from across the football landscape, describing what got them involved in the game, what they love about it, and what life lessons the game taught them. You can find your copy or order your copy from our website at footballgameplan.com/books. Alcorn State and Grambling State face off in the 2015 SWAC championship game, with the winner not only earning the SWAC title, but also earns a berth in the inaugural Celebration Bowl, which takes place December 19th in Atlanta, Georgia, and they will face North Carolina A&T of the MEAC. Now let's look at some coaching points in this ball game for both teams, starting with Alcorn State. I think they have to dictate both the tempo and the pace of this ball game. We know the Braves can do a great job running the football behind that huge offensive line. If they can control the clock, control the tempo, and the pace of this game, they can knock off Grambling. Defensively, the zone coverage has to excel. They can't just line up and play man across the board against the spread offense of the Tigers. If they're able to play zone effectively, especially at the second and third levels, I think they could have a chance. And to build on that, I think in order for that to happen, you look at those 2 linebackers, Damian Watkins and Darian Anderson. They have to excel. Those 2 guys do a great job, not only versus the run, but also in pass coverage and as well as getting after the quarterback. They're going to need those 2 guys to have their A game once again in order to win this ball game. Now let's move over to the Tigers in this matchup. I think they have to maximize their offensive possessions. When you face a team like Alcorn State that can chew up the clock with their ground game, it's important when you have the football, you maximize with points. Otherwise, you can find yourself down and struggling to come back against the Braves. Defensively, it's about winning on first downs. You want to put this run-based offensive attack in the second and long and third and long situations. If Grambling is able to do that, they can win this game. And I think they have to play a clean game on both sides of the ball. No frivolous penalties, no wasted possessions, no turnovers. You can't beat yourself against a team that can control the clock like Alcorn State. Otherwise, you'll be on the losing end of the scoreboard. The biggest X factor in this game for the Braves will be quarterback Lenoris Footman's ability to throw the football when they need him to complete passes, because we know when John Gibbs Jr. was healthy and back there in the pocket, he was an outstanding dual threat player that gave defenses fits. Now Footman more than held up his end of the bargain in the running department. Passing game, he hasn't made the big mistakes, but completion percentage wise, 40% is not going to get it done versus this Tigers defense. He has to step up big throwing the football in this ball game. And the biggest X factor for Grambling will be their defense's ability to remain disciplined within their front 7. That's the biggest key in this ball game. Can they stop the Braves' ground game? Because that's the type of pressure they put your defense in. If they can make this game a Lenoris Footman versus Jonathan Williams game and not a Braves ground game versus the Tigers' run defense, I think they have a great chance in winning this matchup. I like the Tigers in this ball game. I think when you look back at the first meeting that ended up in a Grambling victory 35-34, they got down big to Alcorn State because they couldn't stop the run, but that was with John Gibbs Jr. at quarterback. But when you look at Grambling as a whole, they're a well-balanced offensive attack. I really like the way Martez Carter runs the football, and I think quarterback Jonathan Williams will do a great job in avoiding the big mistake in leading Grambling to a SWAC title and a berth in the inaugural Celebration Bowl against North Carolina A&T.